today, y'all. I think being a father of five myself, being a man who had children and then decided to have another child,
Mm-hmm.
I think it's extremely important in our community to reevaluate our willingness, our capability when it comes to being parents. This is what I mean. And I'll give you two scenarios. If you're a brother who is with your woman, you guys are solid. You guys have your own place. You guys are doing things together. You
Mm-hmm.
guys both work. You're just trying to be good citizens and move forward in society. You have a baby. To me, that's more of the setup to have a child. Now, you guys have one child, 4 or 5 years go by, 2, 3 years, you talk about it. Okay, it's time to have another one. Here is a scenario, in my opinion. This is
Mm-hmm.
the ideal scenario to create a family in. However, even in that scenario, you still want to maybe like, okay, how's our money? Maybe this one kid took us to the brink of our finances. And if we have another one, we can't go on vacations.
Right.
We can't get them braces if they need to.
Right.
See, so you,
We
so you
can't
got to
get the
look at
mental
these.
health if they need it.
See, so sometimes we have a kid and we like, all right, this was a lot for me based on whatever. Sometimes the worst thing you can do
It's
is
have
go
one.
out and recreate that and have another one. Now, another scenario that's even worse, where you a young man like I was, who out here just having sex, and you end up getting a girl pregnant, you struggling to provide possibly, you struggling to be there mentally, you
Right.
struggling with the fact that you're a young dude who really haven't figured out life yet, so you're still trying
Yeah.
to figure you out, let alone figure out how to be there for this kid. One of the worst things you can do is go to another situation and say, okay, I'm gonna recreate this whole thing. I'm gonna have
Part of the
another
code.
baby with this. Now you're creating a extremely toxic environment where, in my opinion, you're not taking into consideration the other people involved. I've seen situations, me included, where you have a new baby
Mm-hmm.
and the current kids will think, or they will say, well, damn, I'm gonna be getting too much of nothing now already.
Yeah.
So now with this new baby, they can get to resenting this new child because it's like, okay, my life ain't really been that good, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And now we got this new baby that y'all Googling and gagaing with. Y'all paying all this attention to this new baby. I got homework. I need help. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Sometimes we have the idea, I'm going to create this family. I'm going to have 3, 4, 5, 6 kids. Maybe, but you need to slow down and be
Yeah.
practical about your personal situation and determine what do you want to do for your kids? What kind of life do you want your family to have? And if you want them to have things and have options and have resources,
Right.
you gotta try to time your damn kid. You gotta time. Okay, should I have a kid now? Should I wait? Should we not? You know what I mean? How you feel about that, Sheree?
Are you talking about as a man's perspective?
That could be a man or woman's perspective. Just an adult with 1 or 2 kids, how they move forward with deciding to have another one.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I just think, going back to creating some type of code in the Black community,
Mm,
childbearing responsibly. That's something
mm,
that it would have a lot of bullet points down there, but
mm-hmm,
childbearing responsibly. So we can look at all those facts and aspects and different things that you brought up. And
mm-hmm.
people can say, okay, let me open the book up to this. Childbearing responsibly. Let me see if I'm hitting on this point. Why am I doing this? Now, for me, I am a woman, so I can't tell you exactly how men think. I can tell you what I believe a lot of men
Go
do.
ahead.
They try a lot of men basically want to replace their inadequacies with their children. So I
Mm,
feel like as a man, a lot of men feel like they need to have a whole bunch of kids, not because they just want a whole bunch of kids, because that's the one thing I guess that they can do, and that will make
mm.
them feel like they're somebody. And
That's deep.
I got 5 boys and 3 girls. All
That's
my boys
deep.
play sports. One of my boys, so then they want to live through their kids. So they want to have
Ah,
all these kids so that unfortunately they could be the basketball player that they didn't that they were not. They could be the rapper
mm.
that they were not. They could be the actor that they were not. They could be the scientist that they were not. But we know in our community a whole bunch of Black folk and men want to be what? Because it was instilled in them that that's all they can be, rappers and athletes. So
Athletes.
I
Yep.
feel like it's a void. I feel like a lot of men are just going out having babies are trying to fill a void. Same thing for my
Mm.
women. but I'm speaking about the men and how I feel about some men that just going out there knowing good and well they can get somebody pregnant, knowing that
Mm-hmm.
they're not even in love with the woman, don't want to spend the rest of their
Mm-hmm.
life with the woman.
Yeah.
She gonna have my baby. She gonna have my baby. You know, I met people when I was young. They're like, I'm gonna have a baby by you. They didn't say nothing about I'm gonna marry you. Spend the rest of the life. You're gonna have my baby. So they may
That's
see like this.
man.
They may see like this girl that they think is so beautiful, and you're gonna have my baby. Why? So again, it just comes down to, you know, kind of like common sense, thinking things through, like you said. But I do think that a lot of men and women have kids and don't care about who they have it with to fill a void. Some people,
That is
especially
man.
women, some women I hear talk about a lot that, you know, they didn't have love and they just want somebody, they never had love. And so they want somebody that's
Damn.
going to love them unconditionally, because your kids, they love your dirty draws.
That's deep, man.
Your kids will
That's
love you
deep right there.
forever unless you are like the devil. Your kids
Yeah.
will love you forever and they still will forgive you. No matter what you do to
That's
them, most
deep.
kids will always forgive you because they love you unconditionally. All they want is your acceptance and your love. That's the only type of love that you can get, is that from a kid. So if you're missing
Mm,
love within yourself, that's the
man.
reason why these people are having all these kids. That's a part
Ain't
of it.
that something? Ain't that
Part of
something? Because it's funny you say that. I'm happy you went there, man, because I remember being a young father and, you know, speaking of like the women that I had children with, I remember it was a common thread with both of them. Neither one of them had their father around.
it.
And how can I put it? Um, and as a young person, I didn't know what this was, but now that I'm older, hindsight's 2020, when their father would come around, or let's say he would come into town, or he was available to see them and spend time with them, they treated me differently then. Like I
Mm.
was second fiddle. Like they
Yeah.
didn't have time to deal with my nonsense because
Yeah.
this man, and I didn't know what that was. But now that I get older, I'm like, they just needed the presence of a father. And like you said, having the baby wasn't much on wanting to be with me as much as it probably was. I want something to love me. You know what I mean? I'm missing
Yes.
love in a particular area. I want something to love me. So that brings up a whole nother conversation of, again, everything kind of goes back to how we start our families and how we treat each other and the system that we're raised in. Because
Yeah.
if we start creating environments where these kids are being raised in their home, mom and dad, they ain't gotta be perfect, but they love each other. If they
Yeah.
if you getting certain shit at home, you're not finna go outside to look for it.
Exactly.
Period. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? And I think we also need to get to a point though where, let's say I'm a man, I have a baby in this particular situation, and I realize that it's not healthy. Meaning, me and the woman always argue. Uh, I ain't got my shit together in a certain way, but I have to be cognizant of this, and then tell myself, okay, I did this and had this baby, and I love my baby girl, my baby boy. But if I have another one, I'm gonna be causing strife not just on myself, but on her too. If I have another one, I'm gonna be putting everybody in a disadvantaged position. But that's like a higher level of thought. You know what I mean?
Higher level.
That
We,
all of
we
our men though, because again, when I'm looking at these young dudes killing each other, when I'm looking at these young dudes, like I said on my show a few weeks ago, these young dudes, 16, 17, 18, killing each other, I beg to ask, how many of them came from two-parent homes? How many of them have a father that they know love them? Like, let's say he ain't even in the house, but know love them. You know
I
what I mean?
mean, we could Google that right now and just and talk about black, the absence of black men in homes. I bet you none of
Yeah,
them. None of them.
yeah.
None
See?
of them.
So of course we know that the system participated in creating that structure,
Right.
but we have a say so.
Right.
We
Right.
have a say so. We can say, okay, this is the maze that was created for me. I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna go this way because I know that's what they want me to do. You see what I'm saying? So we,
Right.
so we got to get to a point where because people be telling me, you need to stop
Yeah.
blaming the white man. You need to stop blaming. I'm like, nah. Let's. If an issue arises, we need to hold everybody accountable that's
Right.
involved in the issue.
Right.
And if
Right.
you black in America, Jim Crow, segregation, redlining, all this shit still affects us to this day.
See, we're not blaming their ancestors. The reason why a lot of black people blame white folk today is because they allow the fuckery to continue to go on.
Yeah.
You're putting money into everything, into the big pot that is white supremacy. So we're not talking about you. Why are you guys mad at me? That I didn't do anything to you, because your parents, your aunts and uncles, and you are playing into white supremacy still. Are you standing up and saying, no, this is ridiculous, this is not gonna happen? Is anybody at the top, the one percenters, are they going to the White House? Are they outside with the sign saying, Trump, this shit's ridiculous? We need to knock down the criminal system and rebuild it. So that's why we're mad at you, because you're still playing into it and you're comfortable with it. So all that, when you hear somebody saying, well, my ancestors did that, my ancestors did this. No, baby, your people are still doing it right now. You guys aren't making no change. You're not making no noise. And you will not have it. You will not have it any other way. You want them to give us this little bit. You pretend, yeah, this isn't fair, but you would not have it any other way. Once we do, because I'm gonna have some hope right now. Once we do get everything we need, equity and all that stuff, see what's gonna happen. It's gonna be a race war.
You know what I mean?
Race war.
Because I definitely agree with that. And some white folks don't realize, like, your silence, you're actually saying something. Being quiet is actually an action. You know what I mean? Yeah. You actually saying something. Most white people, and this is a white guy I was talking to a while ago, and man, I had to realize that for some of them, because they don't have the issues that we have,
right?
It's certain shit they don't even think about. Yeah. They don't even think about problems with the police. They don't even think about a family member that's in jail or somebody living on the other side of the law. When they have a family member that's in jail or that's a thug, or they ostracize his ass. You ain't coming around here. He ain't coming to the barbecue. They kick him out the family damn near if you do some shit they don't like. You know what I mean?
They can't even understand. They can't even understand being in line, and walking into a place and no one not speaking to you. They can't understand that you've been standing somewhere. White man walk in and they say, "Can I help you, sir?" That's happened to me so many times.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? So they don't even understand. They don't understand going into even the Chinese stores trying to get something done or here and there, and they see a white person come in. May I help you? May I help you?
Look right over your ass.
They don't understand nothing. And as much as they try and as much as they want to help, maybe you're awakening some other white folk, but I don't think that you don't understand what we go through, and I still don't think that you standing up with a sign is gonna make any big difference. I just don't. Yep. I just don't. The change is gonna have to come from the top people. And if our country has been built a certain way for 100, let's just talk about 100 years. Jim Crow after that in 1960. You know, over like 1,000 people were lynched from 1900 to 1960. This is 1960. I'm born in 73. In 60, they were still lynching folks. So, I mean, how can they understand? So those type of questions, like I'm a why person. I always used to ask my mom a lot of questions because my dad died when I couldn't ask him a lot. I was only 10. So he was gone. Mama, why? Mama, why? Mama, why? And she tried to answer me. When I started getting older. She just told me straight up, white supremacy. We're considered inferior. We don't get the homes. We don't get the loans. We don't get nothing, really. We got to fight for everything that we get. And we still ain't going to get the rest of it.
See, and that's why, and I think that's why it's important when we look at one of the most revolutionary things we can do is start our families the right way. Is try our best to look at family building and sexual, like I tell men, sexual intercourse. You're giving this woman your seed. Be sure you into the woman. Like, take your time. So many young people I'm still seeing having kids in a position where they're not even adults yet mentally. They're 18, 19, 20 years old. In my humble opinion, no 18-year-old in America should have a child. Now,
find out the background.
You know what I mean?
Find out the person's background. We don't do that. We don't do that.
That's true. Yeah.
I didn't do it. Find out the
Yeah.
person's background, their mother. Is there any mental illness in the home? Look
Right.
them up. Research people. Look them up for free.
You know what I mean? Like back in the day, they used to research her. They used to be like, what kind of family they come from. That's why that shit kind of
Yeah.
make a little bit of sense. Where they was like, no, we don't match families with families. Be like, no, no, you can't rock with her. They ain't got nothing.
Right. You see?
They gonna get with us and try to take all our shit. So you gotta find
Exactly.
somebody that's more compatible. That's a real
Right.
thing. You know
That's
what I mean?
right. We're not doing that nowadays. Our men is looking at the fake booties, and our
Yep.
women are our young women are looking for money.
Yep. Yep. So
So
with that
they don't give a
combination,
damn. The man could be a woman abuser. You can have 5 different girls on the side. They don't care. They can get the shit beat out of them, and they'll
yep,
come back. Why? Because he gonna buy him what's that bag everybody talking about, that
the
Birkin,
Birkin bag, yeah.
and they gonna buy it. He gonna buy her a little 5, 6, 7 year old Mercedes that looks like a
hmm
2020.
hmm
Whatever it is that she's getting, again, to build up that self worth that she didn't get when she was younger. She deals with that, has his child, and what he do? Damn near kill her and the baby
Yeah.
if he don't do it. So
Yeah.
we have to start researching who we are with, getting to know them, not just them, but their families.
Yep. Taking the time. Taking the time to get to know them. Date. Like that sounds cliche, but damn, date somebody for a couple years. Like travel with them. Do a whole bunch of shit before you decide to have a family. I've known people be like, man, I love this girl. We gonna settle down. This is just the best time I ever had in my life. I can't wait to keep being with her. I'm like, damn, dog, how long y'all been together? 9 months. I'm like,
Some say
you
three
just
months.
started.
Some be
you
like
just
3 months.
started. Yeah, why we in a rush for that final destination? We in a rush to get married. If we really trying to build something solid, if we gonna be with somebody for a while, take your time. What's supposed to happen for you is gonna happen for you. You can't rush it. And being black, we have to factor in if I have a baby when I'm 18 or 19, there's a system set up that's gonna be coming for my baby. My baby, if I ain't got the money to put him in private school or I ain't got the
Right,
knowledge to teach him stuff, he has to go to a public school where
right,
90% of the teachers are white.
right.
90% of the teachers are middle-aged white women, so she don't
Yeah,
understand your son, so she gonna be
facts.
treating him a particular way.
You're not talking. You speaking facts. You
The
speaking
police is
facts.
already driving around the school. He waiting to arrest your son for some little faulty shit. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So we literally have a system that we have to fight against, along with just trying to be regular people like everybody else. You know what I mean? So I
So
think black parents need to have these conversations with it. That's why I'm such a big proponent of history. To me, if you dig into history the right way, everything you're looking at will make sense to you. Like the brother Claude Anderson say, if you don't understand white supremacy, everything gonna confuse you. You ain't gonna know
right.
what you're looking at. You ain't gonna know whether you're coming or going, who like me, who don't like me. You know what I mean?
That makes
That's
sense.
all. That's all
Yeah.
based on you not having a crystal clear understanding of the system that we're in. Then you can know your place. Then you can begin to study and say, "Damn, we actually the shit." You know
Right.
what I mean? Then you
Right.
can get pride in who you are and pride in your people. So it is a process, but we have to start. That's why my show is so important to me because sometimes I think I'm being redundant in saying things that people know already, but people hit me like, man, I ain't know that. I ain't know that. And these are people my age.
Well,
So
let
I'm
me
like,
tell you something.
damn.
Let me tell you something. You even if they don't say that they don't know, even if they say they did know that, you got to keep using it. One of the most smartest men, even though he was like the devil, created that propaganda. You got to keep putting it out there. That's why I say every single time, give thanks, greetings, give thanks. That's today's yet another miracle. So people can start really saying, today is a miracle. Let me get up and go do something. I'm gonna keep saying it. Rise up and
Mm-hmm.
wise up. Same thing over and over again. Certain things you hear me. Remember, I talk a lot about systemic racism. I do
Mm-hmm.
that. I told you, right? To keep it going, keep it going, keep it going. So
Keeping
there's
it in
gonna be some
mind.
there's gonna be some topics that you do need to keep going over.
That's
You should
true.
write it down in your calendar. Okay, next month we're talking about that. Next month we're talking about that again. Next month, because you really think they're gonna
Ain't that
remember
real?
from one
Ain't that
show?
real?
It go
Yep.
they hear it and they like yeah, and then it's over with because they got too much stress in their life. So you got to
Yeah.
keep doing it. You got to use propaganda to help our people.
In a positive way.
There
Damn
you
right.
go. There you
Ain't
go.
that the truth? Ain't that the truth? Well, this has been a great episode. Another episode of the Melanated Convo podcast. I appreciate my sister. for stepping in with me. We're gonna have to do this again because we
Yep.
definitely was flowing with each other and the topics was just coming. So I appreciate that. Everybody, please do me a favor and subscribe to my YouTube channel, Melanated Fathers TV on YouTube. If you follow me, go to the website, melanatedfathers.com. On my website, you can find a lot of news stories that I talk about here. You can find a History Matters section where I talk about different people, places, and things from our history. We have a book of the month on the website. We have articles about
Awesome.
parenting on the website. So if you're a
Oh,
Black person, you go to the website, you're going to get a dose of everything you need to get your mental state where it need to be. You feel me?
and they have the woman's perspective on the website. I get all of
Yep.
his emails. Let me tell you, there's a lot of stuff that goes on when I don't have time, when I'm trying to build myself up. Sometimes I'm not paying attention to the news. I get it from you because I get it from your emails that I signed up for.
Yep.
And
Appreciate
so
that.
it's definitely he has a wonderful platform. So make sure you subscribe to that. And hopefully somewhere in notes or something, you could just put my Facebook information on there.
I
I
will.
have
No, at
I
the
have
bottom of the video, I
Instagram
definitely will.
too. I'll email it to you.
Okay, okay. Now, any parting words? If they wanted to get in touch with you, if they want to follow your movement, how would you recommend them let them do that?
Well, right now you can hit me up on Facebook, Instagram, and my email.
Got
But
it.
because
Got it. Okay.
I don't like spelling my name because a lot of the letters in my name sound the same. So
Yeah,
if you go Chere. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna find where he's posting this at, and then I'll make sure that information is in the notes or comments for you guys.
definitely, definitely. Well,
Okay,
I want to thank everybody. No, go ahead, Cherene.
but definitely be looking out for Cherene's Truths, the book. The title may change, and also that's just going to be different truths that when I talk about self-love, self-respect, I talk about systemic racism, hate, the fact that we hate each other and hate ourselves. I'm going to be talking a lot about mental health coming up. I have a lot of different things coming up that will be taking place music wise, because music, what people don't know is that performing arts and mental health go together, and
Hmm.
they help. So I'm a
Okay.
big big advocate of performing arts as well.
There
So
we
be
go.
looking out for that. I'm gonna have, like, we're gonna talk about mental illness, but also have shows and people performing and things of that nature. So be looking out. Follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and you can catch me and see what I'm doing and what's going on.
Definitely. Thank you. Thank you very much, Cherene. So, all right, everybody. Thank you very much for tuning into another episode. Everybody who takes time out of their day to send me emails, to comment, even when people don't like the stuff that I'm talking about and they comment on YouTube, I appreciate all of it. These are conversations that we need to continue to have. There's so much information going around on Facebook, on Instagram, on social media about our people. Sometimes it's negative narratives. People be online having fun and enjoying themselves, and I get all that. But please balance out your brain with healthy content and critical thinking. Critical thinking is extremely important for
Yes.
all of us. Wherever
Yes.
you are in your life, you need to begin thinking not just about your family, but as a community as a whole. So, like
Yeah.
Cherene said, we can remain to be on code so we can see some of this shit change. Racism ain't going
Yeah.
nowhere. It's all about what we're going to do about it, y'all. So, again,
Exactly.
I thank
Exactly.
everybody for tuning into the show. This has been another episode of the Melanated Convo podcast. We out.
Peace.